shadows of stone. She stood on the edge of my mind. I tried to push her away. I shut, locked the door.
Hey everyone, Psychic Derek here. And yes, it is me. I got rid of this mess on the top of my head. Now I'm just looking a little more younger and handsome, and got the beard coming in. Just look a lot better, and that's the longest my hair's ever been, so I guess I can proudly say that. But yeah, I was getting kind of tired of it. Long hair along with me does not work very well. So glad I got rid of that shit. Anyways, back once again with a vinyl update, and got a good stack here. I got like 5 to 6 LPs and then a single to share. And just a moment ago I was watching Randy's live stream, and I wanted to get this video in because I'm recording this in the evening, and I'll upload this in the morning. And so yeah, just watching Randy's live stream, and he shared one album that he picked up because of a couple videos back when I shared my all-time favorite 5-star psych records that I own, and he shared that Truth album. Really happy he picked that up, man. It's one that doesn't get talked about enough, and it's just so killer. Then you picked up Frumious Bandersnatch. Yeah, I recommend those 2 albums to anybody, but yeah, they're getting a little tougher to find, those reissues, you know, since they pressed them over 10 years ago, and you know, they're kind of limited, so get them while you can. They're excellent material. So yeah, let's get started before you start falling asleep or something. So anyways, like I said, mixed bag of material here, ranging from all different styles, from psych pop to even ambient music. So strap in, let's go. So starting with the ones I got from my last video up until recent, which would be today. This is one I picked up first. This is Glass Harp. It's on Decca. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this band. This is their debut from 1970, I think. 70 or 71. And if you guys follow my other channel, Cosmic Minds, I uploaded the full album of their demos prior to this. And that is probably their most psychedelic they ever got, and it's killer stuff. It was all on an acetate, and they were sending it off to different major labels, and I guess they never got signed at the moment, but they also released like a 45 single, which is pretty collectible now. And even though I probably prefer those demos compared to this, you know, they definitely went in the right direction with this album, though. Best way I can describe it is it's definitely in that progadelic sort of vein, where, you know, a lot of the songs are kind of have these semi-progressive moves with them, but it's also got this kind of trippy element throughout as well. It's got a lot of moody atmospheres with this album. A lot of mixed styles, from like, you know, some folk rock moments to I think there's like even one country rock track on here, and you know, some hard rock on here as well. The guitarist, Phil Keaggy, I think his name is pronounced, is kind of overlooked as far as a guitarist. He's got some chops on here. He really wails, and it's fantastic. Probably my favorite tracks: Can You See Me, the opener, and Southbound on side 2. It's got some, I think it's got some flute in here, if I remember right. And it's got some really nice reverberated vocal harmonies, and just really shines throughout, and it's worth picking up. It's just a very listenable album as well. It's got, you know, kind of a commercial sound to it, but it all works in the end. This is the original inner sleeve with the lyric sheet on the back, and it's on the original Decca label. You always see copies on MCA. reissued it over the years. So I think it did sell pretty well back in the day. So if you guys like bands like Wishbone Ash come to mind, they're kind of around the same era and the same label. You might like Glass Harp. So if you have to get a chance, check out the Glass Harp demos that are on YouTube. I uploaded on my channel, Cosmic Minds, at the correct speed. The other uploads you see are not at the correct speed. They go too fast and the pitch is too high, so make sure you check my channel out for the correct version. Then moving on, we got a 45 single here. This is one I've been after a long time. It's reasonably cheap, but I was kind of waiting for it to go around the $10 tag, and I finally found it. It was super clean copy. The A-side of Sunny Days by the Natural Gas. This is on Renee Records, and no, this is not the Renee Records from Nebraska. And then Rube for the B-side. So this Renee Records is from Philadelphia, I think. Yeah, from the East Coast. And I'm assuming the band's from there as well. But Sunny Days is the highlight off here. It's excellent pop psych with a lot of hazy Farfisa organ, great chorus line, and a really good groover, I would say. The B-side's nothing to get too hyped about. It's kind of like a really steady marching band type style pop song. Typical B-side, but yeah, check out the track Sunny Days by the Natural Gas. It's kind of a underrated little sunshiny pop psych gem, I would say. Okay, and then moving on to more of the LPs. Picked up on some cheap albums. I was kind of looking up some stuff on eBay, and I just happened to find this for, you know, under what it usually typically goes for. This is the Abstracts. It's a copy on Pompeii. This is a pretty typical common psych album you see listed all the time, and I just kind of got in the habit of liking this one again. This is a nice sort of lounge pop album with some like late 60s period flavor going throughout. Nice harmonies, and you can definitely tell these guys have played, you know, around the club scene for quite a while. It also even talks about it on the back as well. They played around underground clubs in like Dallas and Fort Worth and LA, around those southern states. So yeah, and Pompeii was a short-lived label. Atco, it's like a sub-label of Atco, and they're also known for Ike and Tina Turner records, most famously. Yeah, it's kind of like a loungy pop psych record. Nothing too crazy or too trippy on here, but it's still very pleasant and very nice to pick up under, you know, around the $10 tag. I even uploaded some tracks onto the Cosmic Minds channel as well. One of those YouTube channels that always uploads, you know, full album tracks actually got banned or deleted or something, so I uploaded a few more of the better tracks off here. They actually do a version of Smell of Incense by West Coast Pop Art. It's a good version. It's pretty similar to Southwest FOB's version, but I actually probably prefer this than Southwest version of that track. And then other favorites, Any Old Time, See the Birdies, and The Rich Young Here. So check that one out. I'll probably sample it in the intro of this video. Show the label here quick. Like a kind of like the puke green Warner Brothers label. So there's that. And then this may surprise some. I don't know. I told Randy I picked up a blues rock album. What? Well, yes, I do like some blues rock, but it just depends on how heavy it is, and if it ain't just straightforward blues rock, we're good. You know, if it ain't those same chord structures, you know, that we all get bored of over time. I typically like it, and if it's from the late 60s era. So I picked up on this James Gang debut year album. And this is an original on the Bluesway label. And I found this for pretty cheap. This one in nice shape can probably go for like 25 bucks or so. And you just don't see it in this good a shape for like around, I think it was 10 bucks. Yeah, I made an offer on this one for 10 bucks, and that was a good score. I don't know if it's in the original sleeve or not, but that's the original label, Bluesway. And compared to like their other material that would come after this album, like Rides Again, it's kind of in the vein of Rides Again, but this is definitely their most underground they got. As far as like heaviness, Joe Walsh really rips on this one. This is fantastic. My favorite tracks are their cover versions, actually. Bluebird by Buffalo Springfield. Then they cover a Yardbird song, Lost Woman. Definitely the highlights off here, I would say. I Don't Have the Time is also another kind of straightforward, crispy hard rocker on this one. So yeah, early James Gang, pretty good. Their follow-up's pretty good as well. I used to have it. My copy was beat when I bought it back in college. Has the Bomber on it. Well, they're better tracks, definitely. And then picked up on this one. This is one that I was not very familiar with, but I was familiar with the label and its background a little bit. There was a seller on eBay that was selling a bunch of records on this tax scam label, and this is one of them. This is Red Sky. This one kind of pulls some good money, and this was going for about 50 bucks online. He was selling them for, and this was the most valuable one of the ones he was selling. This is still in the shrink wrap, and it's on Guinness Records, which is one of those tax scam labels. You know, there'd be like different record companies that would, you know, release a bunch of anonymous bands and musicians under fake titles and make up these song titles just to, you know, get rid of, so they wouldn't have to pay taxes. And they just released a lot of these anonymous, you know, kind of generic rock albums. Some of them are pretty good. This one I took a chance on because I wasn't very familiar with this Red Sky. The more I listen to this, I'm kind of liking this now. It's kind of really different for my taste. I would say it's a lot of it's straightforward kind of commercial 70s rock with this, not the best vocalist on this one, but on side 2 there's like a couple of nice progressive rock, jazz rock elements going on. Latter Day Saint and Red Sky at Night, the instrumental on this one, has like a disco-y kind of funky lounge flavor to it. Kind of reminds me of like those library music albums or 70s police soundtrack sort of scores. Kind of reminds me of those kinds of sounds, and so yeah, this was an interesting pickup. I don't know if I'm going to resell it or what, but we'll see how long this lasts in the collection. I still really admire this one though, and kind of happy to own like an album on the Guinness Records. Yeah, really happy to pick that up. The full album is on YouTube as well. And then we got 2 more LPs here. This one I'm really very happy to pick up on. So if you guys know or may not know, as much as I love psychedelia, I do admire a lot of like ambient, dark ambient sort of records. Even though I don't pick up a whole lot of them, I do a lot of online listening to a lot of these ambient records, and I think the best way to go about them is probably perhaps buying them brand new, or you know, but even buying the CD copy. But if I ever see one of my grails, my ambient grails for cheap, and it's a near mint disc, because you do want them to be quiet when you play them, I'll definitely hop on it when I see it. I found this for 25 bucks, and it's the lowest I've ever seen it. And this is The Pearl by Harold Budd and Brian Eno, and featuring Daniel Leos. Anyways, this is one I've been really anticipating to pick up. I've just been keeping a close eye on Discogs and finally found one. And yeah, this is fantastic. So the best way I could describe this album, if you know Harold Budd and Brian Eno, they're very known for like their atmospheric, kind of piano-based ambient sounds. And the first song on here, Late October, really describes like the kind of mood you're going to get into just by that title, Late October. Leaves are changing colors. You're sitting by a small brook, watching the water kind of flow away. It's, the late afternoon. You can kind of feel that cold, brisk air before winter comes along. Really has that vibe going for it, and it's very beautiful stuff. I mean, this is one of those albums you can just get lost in. And so, yeah, The Pearl is just as beautiful as like Ambient 2 is, the Plateau of Mirror, which I also own. It's another essential for me in the ambient realm. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm kind of an ambient freak as well. Just don't have enough in the collection, I guess. Kind of just stuck on Psych for now. But yeah, I love Tangerine Dream, another big one, even though they're kind of more based in the progressive electronic sounds. This is on, I think it's Brian Eno's label, Edition EG. And yeah, if I could pick other favorite tracks, the last track, Still Return, it's just so beautiful. The title track, The Pearl, and what's the other one? Probably the opening track, Late October, really sets the mood for the record. So yeah, very happy to pick this up. Then the last one, very pumped to get this as well. Found this on Instagram. Seller was selling this for a little under average price, and this is a very clean, crisp copy. The cover, most of the covers have seen better days, but this one is an exception. West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, Volume 2. Usually this one suffers with ringwear, and there's barely any on here. It's just got a name written on the back, but no big deal. Like I said, paid under value for this one, and from the Reprise label, of course. Now, when we're talking about their Reprise outlet, this is probably my least favorite of the three, but not to say that's bad at all. Volume 2, definitely their most zany, probably. I don't know. They're all three very good, very strong, but this one kind of gets a little more dark, and as far as lyrics go, you know how Bob Marley was. This is probably the most risque lyrics within the album of any of Marley's contributions. And this is when they left Michael Lloyd behind, because he was producing, October Country and doing the whole thing with the smoke. They kind of basically diminished into this trio, and the highlight of the album, Smell of Incense, once again, since I mentioned it in the abstracts, Ron Morgan, who would play on their third album, is co-wrote Smell of Incense, and believe he does the lead guitar on that track, and it's definitely the highlight off here. My other favorites, Carte Blanc and Queen Nymphant, even though those, like I said, Bob Marley and his risque lyrics are just kind of really creepy alongside the very inviting music that comes in the melodic songwriting. the way they perform it. So yeah, it's kind of a love-hate going on there, but the music though, however, is very, very strong. And since Bob was kind of like a rich kid, he could get away with, kind of experimenting a little bit and, showing all these ideas he had in mind. So it's in the original reprise sleeve. Yeah, this has kind of been a long time want. I just could never find a decent, clean copy for a comfortable price. And so, yeah, that about does it. So, with that said, I do have at least a couple more coming in the mail. 45 I'm really pumped about. And this LP I took a chance on. It's one-sided, and it's kind of like this private press power pop LP. I just found it listed on eBay for cheap, and I gave it a sample on YouTube, and I was like, not too shabby there. So I took a chance on it for real cheap, and we're gonna see what the rest sounds like. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed, and got any questions, let me know. Don't know if I'll go back to doing live streams or not. I do have some free time to do so, but you know, I've been really enjoying sitting outside a lot more now. Um, still can't really go record shopping or even thrifting at all, but or even just going out to eat or going bowling. Stuff I love doing. But I have been enjoying sitting outside while it's still kind of cool out. It hasn't really warmed up yet, but it's getting there. So, got something in my eye. All right. So, with that said, take care. Do personal hygiene and stay COVID free. And we shall see you soon.